Hey everybody, Mike McWilliams, Upstairs to the Right Music. Thank you very much for liking the content. If you really like the content, why don't you take the time to subscribe to this channel. I'm back here in the very empty Upstairs to the Right recording studio. I had to say 2 weeks being sequestered in a hotel room for quarantine was not the best experience of my life, but it wasn't so bad. It actually went by quickly, and I'm just glad it's over. I'm glad at least I got space. I'm not cramped up in a little room. The subject today is going to be very short. I don't have any of my equipment, so I really don't want to get into, and also I really don't want to get into any serious discussion today. I just want to float an idea out there as to what you guys think. So in the discussion comment section of this video, give me your opinions on the subject that I'm going to talk about today. I have a guy who has a 1993 Les Paul Standard, which is actually it's a reissue, so it's a 59 reissue. Now this is a very interesting guitar because it was produced at the same time that they were producing the Les Paul Classics. That had the true ABR, you know, where the bolt is directly drilled into the top of the guitar. It has nickel hardware for the bridge and the saddles. Thin binding in the cutaway. So it is a thin headstock. So it's essentially very similar to a Les Paul Classic at that time, except for there's slight upgrades to the pickups. Interestingly enough, it has Tim Shaw pickups in it. But it is ironic because I just did a show on Tim Shaw pickups. And you know, that particular Dragon, but it's not really the pickups, as you know, that does it for me. It's just the fact that this is another one of those kind of in between the spaces guitars that Gibson produced during that time. That was, well, it's basically considered to be a prehistoric because this is right before the Custom Shop came out, so you can't really call it a Custom Shop Les Paul. Now, this guy is willing to trade with me that guitar for two of my guitars, my 1993 Les Paul Classic Premium Plus and my 2019 Les Paul Standard. And you know, I have traded Les Pauls before. As you know, I traded just in March my Les Paul Classic Gold Top, P90 Gold Top, for the 2019 Les Paul Standard 60s. I traded that plus a little bit of cash, but I actually still came out ahead on that because I paid half price for that Les Paul Classic because it was so messed up. It had but you can see the video on that in the past. Just look at my description videos and you can see what the story behind that guitar was. So even with that deal, I came out a little bit ahead and obtained a newer guitar. It was considered to be the year before's model, but still that was a trade that worked out to my benefit. Now I can take that trade along with my 93 and I can trade it up to another guitar that I'm interested in. Because its historical relevance. It is actually a unique run of guitars. There's not a lot of them that are made. And also from the sound clips and from the descriptions and things that I've read, it sounds like something that that might be, you know, interesting to me. An owner of this particular guitar, this 93 reissue 59, is Mark Knopfler from Dire Straits. You hear Sultans of Swing. It's the guitar that he used in order to produce that song, the guitar parts on that song. So it's got a very interesting tone, these guitars. Tim Shaw pickups probably again, I find the irony that this thing has Tim Shaw's in it. We just did a show about that. It's hilarious to me. But anyway, what do you think? I mean, have you guys ever traded guitars before like this? I'm actually relatively new. This trade that I did in March is actually the first time in my life I ever did a trade on guitars before. And I was just watching a show with Joe Bonamassa. He's all over YouTube these days, bless him, talking about his recent acquisitions in terms of guitars. And he made the statement of, yeah, I had to trade a few things to get this one particular instrument that I was showing off. And I thought to myself, wow, you know, I guess doing trades is a lot more common than I thought. Of course, you see ads where people say trades welcome, but you know, I never took advantage of that. So, you know, I guess I'm not, you know, I'm on the fence as to whether or not I'm going to do this deal or not. Anyway, it's going to be a month or two before I'm reunited with my equipment where I could even begin to think about doing it. But just the idea of it, whether I actually do it or not, is neither here nor there. What I'd like to hear from you guys, have you ever traded equipment before? Not bought something, but actually did trades before. I'd like to hear your experiences with trading equipment. Did it work out for you, or did you regret it afterwards? The thing that I'm not really loving about this trade deal is that I can't play the guitar beforehand. At least in the case of the deal I did in March, I was actually able to go to the shop in the Netherlands and pick up the guitar and play it before I did the deal on it. It just so happened that I loved the way that it played, and so that was okay. With this one, I'm here, the guitar's in the States, so this is going to be where I've got to send to, and he'll check those out. It's a reputable store, so I'm not worried about it. They'll check the guitars out, and if it's copacetic with them, then they'll send me the one that I'm interested in a trade deal. So, but I've never played it, that's the thing. So, you know, I'm not a big fan of buying guitars before you play them. But in any case, have you guys ever done any deals like that before? Have you ever traded anything before? I'd love to hear your discussions down in the comments section. Thank you guys for joining me today, and I look forward to talking to you again next week. You guys take care. Bye-bye.